Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 58 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. Let's start with the progress report. As you can see, my network plus that of the corporation is now at 127 billion ISK. If we look at the chart here, you can see that it raised a lot. My own network raised significantly this week. I've been doing a lot of ratting, and part of that is skill point 2. I did get a few injector this week to get into our new doctrine ship. So that's added to my network. A toy company raised a lot. I would say the money is coming from ratting tax in significant part and member contribution. A lot of our member are like super high morale and they are contributing voluntarily to the corp. So we have a lot of people like buying module that we need for structure, offering ships and stuff. So member are contributing voluntarily, which help raise the corp member like the corp value by about 7 billion this week. So that was one thing, and another thing that I wanted to show is that we receive an anonymous contribution to our cause. Somebody that really wants us to succeed and make sure that we're not giving ground. So we received a donation of 8,000 plex. It is anonymous. I know who gave it. I am not allowed to. I promised the person that I would not say it. That person is really a fan of what we're doing right now, and he wants us to succeed, so he contributed to our war chest with that. So right now it is not counted in the network, so you would have to add like a 20 bill over that, so we're at probably closer to 150 bill. This obviously is a huge amount of money to receive like that. It will allow us to, we weren't into any type of financial trouble, but it will allow us to, if needed, keep the war going for a lot longer without worrying about the cost too much. And ideally, what we would want is to have that money to serve to when it's time to anchor our large structure. So that is that. Obviously, this is probably not something that normally would happen to a corp, but it is tied to the political climate in the area. So, some of these, if you look at the entire area here around Pureblind, there's like some proxy war. You see that a lot of stuff is being Entosis, lots of fight there. So some people, some rich people like that we are holding ground here, I guess. So that's why they're contributing. And to be honest, I know the person that gave the money, but I don't know where that money came from. So anyway, don't want to dwell on that too much. I know that some people were saying in the comment that we were fighting oil money, but I'm guessing that it's oil fighting oil now. What else can I say? Okay, membership. We are now at 165 player in corp. 165 player in corp, so that's 5 more than last week. We did recruit new member, obviously. We also have a new blue that is starting to join us in the pocket. He's also a YouTuber, Wad Endras. He mentioned me on his channel, so I'm pretty sure that I can mention him too, so I will put a link to his channel below. He is running a series that is kind of similar to what I'm doing, where he's running life as a corporate director. They are a Wormhole Corp that were evicted, and we reach out to them and offer them to basically crash on our couch and live in our pocket while they figure out where they wanted to do next. So they are starting to have a few people that are over. So we do have a blue that is in the pocket with us, living there. Aside from that, I'm still talking with two other corp about possibly joining the alliance. Right now, it's just we're just at the speculative talk, but these kind of talk, I mean, they build over time. You don't people will not join an alliance on a whim. You need to discuss all the details, how you're going to work, what type of autonomy will they have, and everything. So these are what we're working toward on the HR part, obviously, because our goal is to increase our membership, to increase our military power, to be able to anchor those large structures without any problem. So aside from that, I would say that the corp morale is super high. The guys are pumped to be here. We like it very much. We like the area. There's a lot of fight. Most of the guys are learning. It's a new gameplay for them, but we're starting to get used to it. We're a lot responsive. Just to show you a little bit what the guys have been doing. Some of these guys have started doing Guns R Us Wump merch. Obviously, it's not for sale because they're Eve ships, so we would get sued. But they're doing that internally for the guys. So they're printing ship and on Guns R Us pedestal and Wump pedestal. So we're doing our own internal merch, which is, I think, a good sign of high corp morale, and the fact that members are contributing, members are showing up to fleet, and they like what we're doing. So we are having a lot of fun with that. Now, military, what happened? When I left you last week, the Nuclear Sheep defended one of their Astra House, and they had acquired the Scum Lord Fortizar that was in Q-5 here. If I'll go back with my map here, they had two Astra House in XQ- and they acquired a Fortizar in Q-5. They had protected one of those Astra House, and we had a fight that was coming for the second one, the second timer. Now we did form up for that second timer. We tried something different with Jackdaw, and I'll be the first to admit it didn't work. It was a loss for us. So we lost 22 ship, we killed 7. We lost 1.1 bill, they lost 700 mil. So that was really bad showing on our part. We were trying something different with the Jackdaw, just to test the ship. Jackdaws are a new doctrine that we're starting to introduce, so we're still learning stuff with them. Obviously, we learned from that fight. 1.1 bill, not going to break the corp. We did not show for the timer, but anyway, we had 36 people against 71 to defend. And the big difference is that they have this guy leading the fleet now. I don't know if he was leading before, but what we notice is that there was a change of competence in their FCing. It shows on the ground. So maybe we underestimated them a little bit, and they were really good on that reflex. So that one, I have to admit, that one is a defeat, but one battle is not the war. So scratch that as a learning experience, and we're moving on to what happened for the rest of the week. The day after that, we started, because they had started a cloaky camping campaign against us. We did discover way to fight those cloaky bomber. So we do a lot more ratting and mining in group, and we have started to introduce warp scrambler on some, not all, but some of our ratting gila. So basically, when somebody drops on a gila, he has a good chance of getting scram and having a fleet of Wumper on him pretty soon after. So it does bring it get rid of the asymmetric warfare. So these are fights like this where we're killing bombers that are dropping on us. We do lose some ship, but when there's a bunch of bomber like this, but we usually manage to basically wipe the bomber fleet. And actually, I think that at this point it was really frustrating for them, because they try to drop us on with spider tank Stradios, and we just basically whelp the whole Stradios fleet. So we're at that point where we are cloaky camper are just like a feature. We know where they are, and we're it doesn't affect our ability to operate whatsoever. Do they get a kill occasionally? Yes, of course. Typically the bomber will always die, and sometimes we get more than one. So that was about it for that. That was like the part for the cloaky camper. Other thing that happened, like most of the week, we had like different, very cool like small gang fight all week long. They don't keep our real opponent didn't keep many people in the pocket this week, so absolute honor. They aren't like living in the pocket full time. They're coming in beginning of the week, okay, because we'll get to that point later. Beginning of the week, they weren't that present in the pocket. A few of them, we did have some fight. A lot of roamer will come in occasionally, so we do pick up fight with a lot of people like bank robbers or stuff like that. So there's always some action or some small gang fight, but all in all, we can live here pretty well, and it's actually quite enjoyable. What did happen at one point, and that guy deserves a shout out because he's a beast. You had the fleet of absolute honor that was coming in, like Corm and stuff, and the guy were on come and saying, okay, form up, we gotta go take them. And Raw Style was basically like, hold my beer, guys, and he went in and he just soloed 8 of them. So that guy is actually a legend in our internal Discord. That was like pretty impressive to watch. And a little bit later during the week, if I can find it here, or is it? Heinz tried to do the same with their Sino ship, where he just blocked a few of them, but he didn't get to rust out like a record, and they were like one after the other, not at the same time. So, but still, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool to watch, and he's an impressive fighter. I mean, and we live right next to this guy, so we do get the regular beating by them. But all in all, it's all in good fun, and we're learning from it. We're trying to not whelp to too expensive ship with them, but enough that we can get a fight and learn something from it. We did just right before this video. We did a fight with them where I took a fleet of Stabber. Sorry guys if we weren't very much of a challenge, because I was the one FCing, and I'm not a good FC. I think it was like my 3rd time FCing something, and I got a lot to learn. I'm not even a good fighter now, although I will say this one thing for me as a player. I'm at 27% dangerous. No, that's the corp, sorry. The corp was at 21 at the beginning of the week. It's now at 27%. I'm now at 7%. If you look at my weekly, I've had a pretty good week. This is the stabber that I choose to help, but the rest of them, it was pretty doing pretty good this week. But all in all, that's it. That we had like a pretty good fun until like the action started. Thursday night, I would say Thursday or Wednesday, I'm not sure. For me, where we started seeing NCHAR coming in. So the nuclear sheep, absolute will, absolute honor, started bringing a lot of stuff in the pocket. So at least we counted, I think, 8 jump freighter bringing stuff in. And they ended up with sinoing in a Phoenix. So we know they have a Phoenix in the Fort Isar here. And they brought in like at least eight jump freighter worth of something. So they were prepared. We knew they were preparing for an operation. We did try to bump it and get the freighter, but we weren't successful in that. And then the party started like earlier today, where they Entosis 2 of our system. They Entosis the IHUB and the TCU and M-Y, and they Entosis the IHUB in Q-5. So they did bring like large number. That's the D-scan that we have. So a significant force to escort those Entosising ship. Well, at that point, what we did is we didn't go out and whelp a fleet against twice our number. We stayed duck and we're going to fight them at the battle. The initial Entosis is one thing. Fighting the Entosis battle all over a constellation where you have to move around and split your force is a different story. So we will see. And at the same time, there's a lot of action in the area because earlier this week, the 3 entry system were Entosis, and they are actually fighting right now for it. I don't know who's going to win that. I think Conifer is actually fighting hard to protect those systems. Flying Dangerous seem to be in the area. So they are defending those today. These will happen later this week. Here, Conifer reinforced the Schlupen IHUB, and the TCU was reinforced by, I assume, Schlupen. I wasn't there. And here again, you see that there's another IHUB that was reinforced. So there's a lot of pushback against old Conifer holding and the absolute honor, absolute will that are trying to get a foothold in our constellation. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, you can't know for sure beforehand if you're going to win or not. Depend on what they bring, depend on what we bring, depend on allies, depend on who's dropping what, and lots of different stuff like that. So that's going to be an exciting week. Maybe I'll do, if there's anything like really worth updating, I'm gonna do some midweek update possibly. If not, well, you're gonna have to wait until next Friday to get the update, but we'll see. So hopefully you guys enjoy. There was one thing that I expected when I was going to Null. It was that it was gonna be like a little more boring than LowSec. I kind of expected Null to be like more, I would say, stable and like big alliance forming up and basically be a stalemate. At least that specific area of Null, I don't know about everywhere else, it is completely the opposite. The political dynamic behind the scene is incredibly more fluid than it ever was in low sec. I mean, when we were in Becky and even Avenger before, kind of build long-term relationship based on specific objective. Like, okay, we'll defend each other and structure, and these things didn't move that much. Here, it's very fluid. People are negotiating based on the latest Entosis that was in the system. People are talking. I got what I call my water cooler network of contact, which is basically groups of local people that know stuff and that gossip about stuff. And so, like, okay, if a system is Entosis, usually my Discord will pop up and say, "Oh, do you know who's there?" And we're basically trading gossip all day long about just to know what's going on in the region. So it's kind of like a little village, I would say here. I'm getting to know the different CEO. I got almost all of them on Discord now, and CEOs that aren't on the map but are still like a powerful group, like Flying Dangerous. We got the World Star Hip Hop that are coming every day. Like, basically, it's like a daily visit from them that they're roaming, and sometimes we engage them. We do ourselves start to get out of the constellation on roam of our own. We did find where the Cloaky Camper were actually ratting, and looks like very typical bot behavior, because the fraction of a second you're in a system, like faster than human reflex, they're in warp to get to their station. But we know where they are now, so we know the system they're ratting. So we will probably at one point just to do a little payback. So we do take some roam to those systems. We did one this week where we did score a few kills, and that's it. I mean, it's just having fun and adapting to the nullsec life. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you all next week. Bye bye.